Computer boot sequence initiated. Accessing library computer data. NCC 10535. Starship Tempest.
Space. The final frontier. These are the missions of the Starship Tempest. Set between Captains Kirk and Picard, 5 friends stumble their way through their first role-playing game as the crew of this Federation starship, exploring strange new worlds, keeping peace in the galaxy, defending their keyboards from kids and cats, and going clumsily, if not boldly, where no one has gone before. Captain's Log Supplemental. Tensions at the Federation mining installation on Ivex 3 are high. The attitude of the administrator of the facility regarding the Klingons on the neighboring planet borders on paranoia. He feels they are just biding their time until the Federation dilithium mine is operational, at which point they'll attempt to take it by force. At best, he wants us to chase the Klingons out of the system. At worst, he says he'll take matters into his own hands. Shortly, we'll have to open up a dialogue with the Klingons. It is my belief, and my sincere hope, that their presence here is benign.
Alright, so,
Okay.
meanwhile...
So you guys have returned to the Tempest after reassuring the Federation Administrator Norris Lee that you're going to handle it and take care of those dirty Klingons.
Don't worry, we're racist too.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Good. This is a great episode to start out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we replay, while we were down on the surface, what if anything, happened while Holden was in command?
I mean, nothing happened. Like, are you asking, did the Klingons do anything? Because the answer is no.
Oh, I was hoping he was going to scan something.
Captain, I've been passively scanning and nothing has come up.
Oh,
But I've been holding off doing an active scan until you got back.
Yeah, because I told you that. Right.
Okay. Because those were my orders.
You've had a busy day, Captain.
Okay.
So actually, that footage of Holden is just like him playing solitaire.
Can we cut to that, please? All right.
It's just me doing it on the console beside the captain's chair.
Okay. Oh, let's pretend that we briefed Holden on everything that went down there.
Yeah, so
Sure.
everybody has been brought up to speed to the events up to this point.
Done.
Yeah, I'd like to get Teal's take on this since, she understands people.
I do think there's a lot to do with his past coming into play here, and probably more than he's saying, but he's scared, and I don't know.
Well, he clearly thinks that they pose a grave and imminent threat to the facility and installation. Holden, on your passive scans, did you detect anything that would indicate any aggressive posture whatsoever?
No, sir. I was getting there, Brian.
Okay, sorry. I thought maybe you were waiting for me.
Yeah, no, sir. Obviously, as Klingons, they have cloaking technology. If there are more ships, there's no way we can tell unless we actively scan them. From what we can see, they're just opening a mining facility. They're Klingons, and they are getting dilithium, so it's a possibility. We've had skirmishes on the border before, so I wouldn't dismiss it out of hand, but certainly not something that that I would suggest us go get into a ship-wide battle with.
No, of course not.
And we don't want to talk to them and just say like, hey, we're all good, right?
The Klingons?
Uh-huh.
No, that's certainly the next step. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't missing anything. This farce that I put on Planet Side is not going to last much longer before Lee either sees through me or his patience wears thin again. So, does anybody have any suggestions other than reaching out to the Klingons and opening up a dialogue?
Can they beam from one planet to the other, or is that too far?
Too far.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Um,
They have like a vanishing cabinet?
yeah, I have like Narnia.
No, like Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
We're well read.
Here's a half thought that I've been processing, which is, we could send
Better than a whole thought.
No, you're gonna half thought. You could send down a batch of weapons, and say that they're for defense only, And
I do not suggest that.
What was that?
I do not suggest that plan.
Well, hear me out.
Maybe they're
Go
not
on.
loaded.
We'll set
I actually
them up.
didn't hear it because you cut out on my end for some reason. What
Oh,
did
I'm
you
sorry.
Say?
So we'll send down a batch of weapons that look like normal weapons, but we set them all to do nothing more than stun, if even that. And to immediately, if utilized, start recording, transmitting, and alerting us to what's going on to see if we can catch him in the act of being a hothead and get him removed.
You're referring to Lee, not the Klingons, correct?
That's
Beaming us
correct.
to the-
I don't think the Klingons. I mean, if the Klingons start coming guns ablazing, then we can remotely reactivate the weapons. But I think if we send down a batch of weapons to this guy, that he's gonna take that and run with it. I don't trust him to be restrained, and so
Especially with the act you put on, Captain.
yeah.
I'd also like to get on the record that I pictured a basket of weapons.
Like a wicker basket.
Like a woven basket.
Like a gift basket.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I hope it's precious, whatever it is.
It's a very large basket full of phaser rifles, and cheeses,
And cheese.
and very nice cheeses.
Charcuterie and energy weapons.
Here's a Harry and David disruptor.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So Holden,
Captain,
yeah, go ahead.
so based on what we've heard from him and the readings that Teal has gotten from him, it sounds like there's the possibility of him radicalizing and taking matters into his own hands, which would be obviously a problem. But at the same token, I don't dislike the idea of maybe helping nudge him as long as it's a safe way. My concern would be if we send him a batch of weapons that are set to stun,
Basket.
and he tries something, how the Klingons will respond.
I just don't see how he could do anything. I mean, I don't think he'd take a cutter out, to another planet to start something. That's what I'm assuming.
Brian, can a cutter make it to the other planet?
But I mean, even if he
Was that a yes?
Yes, he can. Yes, it can.
Okay.
But he's not going to take a cutter with a basket full of disruptors or phasers and cheese and go take on a Klingon bird of prey.
It's gonna be so cute.
So I don't
True.
see how he can. I don't see how in his current position he could even become the aggressor.
Maybe it's time we go talk to the Klingons.
I think so. I don't see any other option.
Right.
So we have a security detail down there. So if anything happens here while we're over there, there's at least, there's a dozen armed security officers plus their own security team. It should be able to withstand anything that's going on.
Yeah, I'm not worried about any imminent threat this moment anyway. So,
Yeah.
and we're
In the
certainly.
meantime, our security team will be watching him as well. I have them sending me discrete reports on sort of their actions to see if they see anything hinky.
Well done. Hinky.
Hinky.
Look, I don't want you using words without any meaning around me.
All words are made up, Captain.
Mine was a fugitive reference for those paying attention at home. Okay, we are certainly within communication range, are we not?
Of the Klingons, yeah.
Communication
Captain,
officer.
I've actually been on a live channel this whole time. Is that okay?
It was you.
And so the Klingon appears on screen, just bored out of his mind. No. You're in communication range now. But if you also want to fly over, you can do that too.
I don't even know how to approach this conversation, though.
Yeah, I don't suggest we fly over. A ship that is clearly more powerful than the one that they have just came into orbit. We should not show up at their doorstep.
Yeah.
You don't want to. They're Klingons. They might react positively to a show of strength.
Oh, come on, Brian. What do you know about Klingons? And also, what do you know about the intentions of these NPCs?
As a security officer, despite the fact that I know we can take them, I also know that they have cloaking technology, and I don't know how many ships they actually have in orbit. So
Yeah, that's a really good point.
trying to avoid a fight as long as we can, unless we need to, I'm sort of on that side, even though I'm, Holden. It's sort of like, rather than showing up at the doorstep with weapons charge, just talk to them first seems like what we should first do.
Brian, out of world for a second. The diplomatic relations write-up that you sent to us for pregame prep.
Yeah.
That's all stuff that Starfleet is aware of, correct?
Yeah. So that's all the general kind of.
And so it's not like third-person omniscient information. It's we all, as characters, would have an appreciation for the Klingons' interpretation of our
supposed generosity, right?
Yeah, so that basically what's in that write-up is general current events knowledge for that, time period. So it's all knowledge that you guys would have in the universe, especially as Starfleet officers. It's sort of like, somebody in the Navy, assigned to patrol the South China Sea would understand the diplomatic states between China and the U.S.
Do you think we should summarize it real quick? What the Klingons' mentality is right now?
Okay, yeah. So there's a cultural thing here where like the Federation side views helping an enemy in their moment of weakness as a good thing and as an honorable and valuable thing. But on the Klingon side, the Klingon cultural attitude to help an enemy in their moment of humiliating weakness is actually just more humiliation.
Right.
So it's like a sign of terrible disrespect that the Federation gave. It's like pity. It's like resenting somebody who is pitying you. The Klingons feel like they're being pitied by their former enemy or their former and maybe future enemy.
Their future, former, current, and
their past, present, and potentially future enemy. They feel like they're being pitied by, which obviously, as they're a very proud race.
Their brother's, mother's, uncle's former roommate enemy.
Yeah, they're a very proud race, so obviously they don't like that too much. And the Federation has been trying unsuccessfully for almost 50 years to figure out how to convey the sense of no, we actually want to be friends. We're not trying to just destroy Klingon culture and pity you, but so far the Federation has not figured out how to do that.
Right.
The Khitomer Accords, so the peace treaty that was signed in Star Trek VI was for 50 years, and it's now 46 years. So there's a couple years left on it, and it's anybody's guess as to what happens once the peace treaty expires.
Yeesh. Can't we make a new one?
You could, but if the Klingons don't want to, then
Yeah.
that's how it's going to go.
Sure.
The previous complication, Teal's perceptivity difficulties that she's having, is that going to continue with the Klingons, or is it just on planet side?
Yeah, so she'll have an increased difficulty. You can do a task to get rid of it. So you could do that right now if you wanted.
Oh. What do I have to do?
Yes, let's get rid of
To
that.
make it up real quick. We'll call it a control plus commands task, difficulty 2.
Can I assist her? You
No.
know what I'm going to say my focus is.
No, this has to be her kind of So, story narratively, what happened was
she takes a bath and puts on some incense.
Yeah, literally,
Light some candles.
She grows gills.
the security officer kind of rejecting her and being able to throw her out of her mind unsettled Teal's telepathic sensibilities. So Teal has to kind of sit down, meditate, recenter herself.
Read the mind of a cat or two.
Yeah.
She's gonna find a console, and she's gonna reach out to the Andorian from the ship and say, "Remember me."
Okay, so it was a difficulty 2, and you rolled, and you had 1 success, so not enough to recenter yourself. So you tried to meditate. You still feel unsettled in some weird way you can't quite put your finger on. So
Can I appear in her doorway and call her Imzadi?
are you her Imzadi?
Probably not.
Yeah. So you could, but that would probably make things worse.
What about Ensign Umzadi?
Sorry, what was that, Travis?
Never mind. Let's move on.
Okay. All right. So you don't successfully resettle yourself. I'm not going to let you try again right now, but I'll let you try again later after some other things happen.
Spend a momentum next time.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, we gotta push the narrative. So I guess let's see if we can open a channel to the Klingon bird of prey.
Do
Okay.
we want to open a channel or go to their planet?
No, I'd rather stay here and do it from here.
Okay.
At your suggestion.
Opening a channel.
So you hail the Klingon bird of prey, and Captain Clotha appears on the view screen. This guy is a young Klingon warrior, pretty young, but obviously of noble birth. He belongs to one of the great houses. And this guy also seems to have a chip on his shoulder. He's blustering and he's loud. He goes,
So he's Klingon then.
yeah, so he's very much a
Yeah.
Klingon's Klingon. Finally, Captain, you've decided to reach out. What can I do for you? Are you ready to engage in glorious battle?
Captain Clotha,
He didn't say his name. How do you know his name? Sorry, go on.
It shows up there in a little bio feed that we have.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing a name tag.
Oh, yes.
Our viewer screen actually works like a pop-up video.
Okay.
Captain Clotha loves cats.
I want to speak to the commander of the Klingon vessel.
You're talking to him.
And to whom do I have the displeasure of speaking?
You are talking to Captain Clotha of the IKS Tongve.
Well, Captain Clotha.
One who loves cats.
And I love Togs, which are like Klingon cat, dog, pigs, but that's not important right now.
Cat dog.
Captain Clotha, the question I have for you is, today a good day to die?
Really?
Captain, if you have the
Cojones.
warrior spirit to try, I will be happy to oblige you.
Your pitiful bird of prey does not scare me, Clotha.
All right, I tap Captain Maddox on the shoulder and be like, let's dial it back a little
seriously.
Yeah, can we? No,
I do the
step it
same.
back here, Captain.
I'm in the corner, like putting my head down, like in my arm, like in my hand, like what the fuck is
I
he
hope
doing?
it turns out that they were fraternity buddies or something, and this is like a joke that they do.
All right, Brian, I'd like to try to get a character gauge on Captain Clotha.
Okay.
I'd like to retcon that they went to school together.
They certainly did not.
Clotha and Maddox, adventures together, solving crimes. Clotha and Maddox, they are like two peas in a pod.
So do a presence plus command difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. I'm going to spend a momentum. So we have a total of 6.
So right now you have 5.
We have 5.
Wait.
With the one you're spending just now, you have, after that, you have 5.
Okay. 3 successes. So we get to reclaim the momentum. So we're back up to 6.
Yeah.
So and also just to clarify, I'm not just trying to to showboat here and be nonsensical, but the reason why I asked you if it was common Starfleet knowledge about the history and the Klingon culture as it stands now after these past 46 years is I figured Maddox would absolutely understand that the Klingons would respond more positively to a show of force than a show of reconciliation or a helping hand. That's why I was trying to lay it on.
Right. Yeah, so you definitely have training in, Klingon psychology and diplomacy and all of that.
I think it's called peacocking.
I got nothing.
Well, it's actually in this specific case, it's called the Klingon equivalent of a peacock,
Which is
a Torgbok.
Okay, so anyway,
someone update memory alpha.
Yeah.
Porkbach.
So I get a good read on Clotha.
Yeah. Okay. So you get your read, and your read basically says that this guy is what he appears to be: a loud, blustering. He's young, so he's probably he's out to make a name for himself. But ultimately, you can tell that he's bluffing. That he would sincerely love to fight you, but he knows he would lose. He also knows that would be counter to their actual mission here and their actual goals. So he's very blustery, but ultimately he is bluffing, and he's not going to do anything unless you do something first.
Sure. Okay. Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, because if he felt really confident that he could take us, then that would likely mean that there are more ships in play.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Clotha, I'm not interested in playing a game with you, so I'll just go ahead and stop talking.
I'll stop then.
Well, I forgot what my train of thought was. 10 minutes ago.
Okay, and at this point, you start getting a hail from the surface of the Klingon planet.
Clotha, can I put you on a quick hold? I got another call coming in.
Yeah. He waves you off, and the screen clicks off.
Well, I thought that went well.
All right, answer that hail.
Okay, so another Klingon. This guy is much older. Appears on the screen. This guy's name is Bok, and he is the administrator for the Klingon facility. So he's basically Norris Lee's Klingon counterpart.
Is he also a jackass?
We're gonna roll to find out.
Captain, welcome to the Ivex system. I hope Clotha didn't give you too much trouble. He may talk a loud and brash game, but rest assured that I am the authority here for the Klingon Empire, and we have no desire to cause any trouble. We simply want to mine the dilithium here, and if we are left in peace, we will leave you alone. If you like, you're more than welcome to come down and talk in person and join us at our facility.
Ask if they have pot roast.
I'm sorry, I missed your name, sir. Bach.
So, Brian, I'm just gonna reiterate the possibility of defecting, because, like, these guys seem real nice and fun. And Lee seems like a
Yeah, I
jackass.
agree.
Don't blame me. I voted for Bach.
Okay. Bach. Trust me, I had nothing but great conversations with Clotha. I found him extremely engaging.
He's young and stupid, Captain, but sometimes you need those.
Yes, he was quite. We call it cute in our culture.
It's probably good you didn't call him that to his face.
At any rate, me and my officers would be delighted to accept your gracious invitation.
Very well, Captain. I'll send the coordinates up. We'll expect you shortly. And it clicks off. And before those coordinates come in, who's at the science station at the moment?
I'd imagine that would be Teal.
No, she's still trying to convince the Mackleys why they're still on board.
That's a good callback.
So whoever's at the science station, you start to get an alert that there is some kind of strange readings coming from the underneath the surface of Ivex 2. So underground.
Captain, I'm starting to get some strange readings.
Maybe come on over here.
Come on, take a look.
So if you want to do a scan, go ahead and do
Me
a
and Ryan, or Captain.
whoever's at the science station.
There could be 6 of us at the science station.
Go ahead and do a control plus science, assisted by the ship sensors and science. Difficulty 1.
I'll do the ship.
Thank you. Why am I at the science station? Does anybody want a bagel? I have 2 bagels.
The science station, for no reason, explodes.
Yeah. So thankfully the ship gets you across that line. But
We'll give you a threat this one.
you're gonna take a threat for this one?
Yeah, we're gonna take a threat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Teal went to go activate the console, slipped, and slammed her face on it instead.
And cause the whole system to reboot in the process by smashing it with her face. Okay. So these sensor readings come in. They are very confusing, but they definitely bear the indications of life signs of some kind. But they
Underneath Telvex 2?
on Ivex 2, so on the Klingon mining
Ivex,
planet.
sorry.
So they're very confusing in the sense that sometimes it seems like there's one or several large creatures, and sometimes it seems like there's multiple smaller creatures, and those sort of life readings meld and split and
So
are constantly
it's
in
Muppet
flux.
Man, basically.
It's what?
Muppet Man.
I don't get that reference.
You know, when all the Muppets stack up together and wear a trench coat.
Sure, maybe.
It's Muppet Man.
If you had done better on the sensor roll, then maybe your sensors would tell you.
Teal's best assessment is, I think it's Muppet Man, Captain.
Captain, we got Muppets.
We got Muppets.
Holden breaks in. Sir, I don't think it's Muppets.
You don't know. You weren't there.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you know.
Now rise for the Klingon anthem.
Phenomena.
You know, I'm having a bad day.
You had just way too much pot roast.
Yeah, that's fair.
Someone needs a nap.
Yeah, I need it.
Okay. If by the way, if you are intending to beam down onto the Klingon planet Ivex 2, wherever you go, you have to actually fly the Tempest closer there to do so.
Yeah. Captain, I'm putting in a course. I'm assuming that we want to go there, so...
Well, first, I think, should we... Should we come up with some story for Lee before we?
We left the gas on. We can tell him we're gonna go over to the Klingon planet and take a scan to understand their defenses so that we can get around them to destroy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works.
Because bad.
So, I mean, we honestly, Lee is expecting you to go over there and start some shit. So, going over there, he's gonna be like, yeah, cool. That's exactly what I expected them to
Yeah.
do. But as soon as you don't do that, if you don't do that, then whatever excuse you give him now is not going to change anything.
All right, open a channel to the facility on Ivex 3.
To Norris, Lee?
Correct.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he pops up on screen.
Lee,
Yes, Captain.
we have them.
What does that mean?
I can't get into it any further, but we're leaving orbit and we're setting a course for Ivex 2. I'll keep you updated. Maddox out.
Okay.
What? Come on, he wouldn't be like that.
Yeah, he'd be jazzed.
Yeah, he'd be like, this is cool.
He's confused. Because you're like, we have some secret plan, and he doesn't.
Well, yeah, but we left saying my tactical officer just got back to me with important information. That was the last conversation we had with him, and I said I keep him updated.
Yeah. Okay.
And his understanding is that we have covert operatives on the planet at the moment. So, like,
Yeah.
Even if
So
we don't go in-
he knows you
don't
have
go
some
in
crazy
fire.
plan, but you're obviously not divulging details. So it's sort of like, yeah, we have a crazy plan. We can't tell you what's going on, but it's going. And he goes, okay, cool. Like, he wants to see results. Until he sees actual concrete results, he's not going to be genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, he's also
would just
he's also not in Starfleet, so he can't expect it to be read in.
and I would just counter with the
everything.
fact that you said on our beam out that he, for the first time, felt genuine relief. So I thought that he and I had built a
rapport.
Yeah, you do.
on false pretenses, but
Thought you had a moment.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely did have a moment. Yeah.
Like they didn't do it physically, but there was some finger gun action.
we did some mental guns.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Alright.
yeah, so the Tempest travels from Ivex 3 to Ivex 2. In response, Clotha and his bird of prey kind of comes up forward a little bit. So it's sitting between you and the planet and the freighters that are also there. But he doesn't raise his shields, he doesn't arm his weapons or do anything like that.
Yeah, we would do the same thing if they came to us.
So as you get closer to the planet, you can kind of get a full sense of the whole thing in one go. Your sensors pinpoint where the Klingon mining facility is, and you're also getting more and stronger of those weird life sign readings there that are in several spots across the surface of the planet. One very large one is kind of on the opposite side of the planet from the Klingon mine, and there's another large one in the general vicinity of the Klingon mine.
well, we're here to beam down to take Bach up on his dinner invite. So
Okay.
What do you think it'll be?
probably targ roast is
Oh,
what
no.
I'm guessing. Yeah, they eat their pets. It's fine.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are beaming down to the Klingon mining facility.
Is there any reason why anybody should stay behind?
I mean, for a getaway?
I would say generally yes.
Yes.
But I can stay behind. You guys got it. I'd like Holden to be able to go, so I'll man things up here.
I was actually gonna say I might stay behind because Klingons have weird opinions about females.
Oh, well, do they though?
It's
mean-
weird. In some parts of the canon they do, other parts they don't.
Okay.
Fair.
I think it's early on in TNG they have a very misogynistic thing going on. I would
Yeah.
frankly disregard that myself. So
All right.
Okay.
I'm comfortable leaving Panther in charge. In terms of just a direct ship-to-ship combat type thing. Mainly the reason I wanted to stay on board when we were at the other planet was because of the potential of scanning things and like doing more complicated tasks as the security chief. But
But I told you to only do passive, so my bad.
yeah, no, it's fine. If something came up on the passive scans, I would want to be there to take care of it. But at this point, it seems like if something goes wrong, we just want Panther at the controls to fire phasers. So
Also, I'm there, so I can just pull you out with.
yeah, okay, Yil, we got it.
Yeah, that's fine, Neil. Yeah, whatever.
Shut up,
Let's
Wesley.
go ahead.
You all brush me off, but I've saved your asses a few times, so...
Yes, we all remember that very
Yeah,
detailed
yeah,
game of chess you played.
Yeah, I hope you do, because that was a full day for me.
Full day, he says.
Also, Holden, that was your idea. Okay. All right, let's Holden, Goodspeed, and Teal. You're all with me.
All right.
Aye, sir.
Okay. So you guys beam down.
Tonight we dine in the mines.
Neat.
This is a nice mine.
And you materialize on the outskirt of the Klingon operation. It's a much, much smaller setup than the Federation mine. There's only about a dozen or so Klingons milling about. There's a cave entrance nearby, which is the entrance to, their actual mining is happening underground, and the cave entrance to that is kind of at the other end of this one short boulevard, and there's some small structures set up on either side. Bach is there waiting for you. As soon as you're done materializing, he walks up to you, he throws his arms out, and he kind of pats you on the back real hard, and he's laughing, and he's a jolly fellow. He's like, "Ah, I know Clotha talks a big game, but trust me, Captain, I am the one who is in charge here. I am the authority, and he answers to me. And as long as you don't bring an issue to us, we won't bring any to you. My orders, my mission for the Empire is to bring this dilithium home. As long as you don't get in the way of me doing that, then we're fine. However," and he pauses, and the big smile that he had until just now wipes away. "If you do get between myself and my mission, our mission here, if you think that you can drive us off with force, I must make sure that you know how sorely mistaken you are. I am still a proud Klingon, even if I'm not a warrior, even if I don't have the bloodlust of the warrior class. My mission here is to bring dilithium home to the Empire, and by Kales, I will do that."
I'd like to get a read on him.
Okay, presence plus, or insight plus command, difficulty 1.
I'm going to spend a momentum, and here we go. 3 ones, 3 successes.
So you get two momentum back. So you're at 6 now. And he's exactly how he seems. He's exactly how he's coming across. He's very jolly. He's not a warrior, so he doesn't have that kind of bloodlust that Klingon warriors do. He's also older, so he has he's a lot more tempered by age. His mission really is, as he says, to bring dilithium home to the Klingon Empire, and that's what he's focused on. So as long as you don't get in between that, you're fine. But if you do get in between him and that,
got it. Bach, on behalf of the United Federation of Planets.
It's Bach.
Bach, excuse me. On behalf of the United Federation of Planets, I thank you for your hospitality. This is my first officer, Commander Goodspeed, my battlefield medic, Dr. Teal, and my chief tactical officer, Lieutenant Commander Holden.
You don't have to make heirs to me, Captain. I don't care that Starfleet isn't about battle and glory. You don't have to pretend like you're more military than you actually are. But I appreciate the attempt.
Starfleet may not be, but I am. And I pack him on the shoulder really hard. Like as hard as I can.
Okay.
And he barely moves.
Yeah, he does barely move, but he looks at you and goes, like, that was genuinely not what he was expecting. And maybe he's a little, like, not impressed. Impressed would be the wrong word, but, like, amused at that you're trying to play at being, more of a warrior than you clearly are.
Then his impression of Maddox is, he doesn't know Maddox.
Sure. Yes, as a Klingon, and he has his own cultural bias, he has just watched a human try to act like a Klingon, and he found that very adorable.
Can we start looking for Muppet Man here? Because those readings didn't make any sense.
No, yeah, we're getting there. We're still. Ents take a very long time to say hello. As do Brian episodes.
Yeah. hello now having been said, what would you like to do next?
Well, we're going to follow Bach's lead. He's going to take us wherever he was going to take us, I presume, correct?
Yeah, if you want.
He offered to dine with us, is that not right?
I don't know if it was a dine. It was like an invitation to show you around, which you can do
Okay.
if you want.
So
I'd follow Bach wherever. I love this guy. Let's go. I like the cut of his jib.
that's sort of what I'm thinking too. No, really, like we're following his lead. He offered. That's right. He offered to show us some of his facility.
Yeah.
Can we see the storage facility?
Yeah, so he does indeed kind of show you around. There's honestly not that much to show. There's one little kind of command outpost building, a couple of little barracks buildings, and these things are really not much more than tents, really. There's kind of a processing facility, which they don't refine the dilithium there. They just, pack it up and get it ready to be carried away on one of the freighters. There is a supply building, and then that's kind of at the very end of the boulevard. So after that, there's a short little space, and then the opening of the cave. He leads you across that space and into the cave, and you can see sort of a couple of Klingon miners with some laser drills working at...
Not miners.
Miners, not mine. I'm amazed that it took this long to get to that reference.
To make that joke.
I thought about it, but I'm like, Brian's gonna get really pissed at us pretty soon.
So you see a couple of
Sorry.
Klingon miners with laser drills working away at the inside
Wait,
of the
are they
cavern.
miners or are they miners?
There
Yeah.
it is.
Miners, not miners.
You're welcome.
You lost me.
You asked for it, literally.
Yeah. So they're working away inside the cave, and you can see kind of the cave leading down further into the bowels, the depths of the planets, and you can hear some more Klingons working further down there. You can't see them, but you can sort of hear the commotion and the working.
We've been working in dilithium.
We're Klingons on the moon. We carry a harpoon.
As you can see, Captain, we are just some miners digging up some dilithium.
Yes, I see that, Bach. Thank you. I would not be fully forthright with you if I did not bring up one small issue that I'm having. Clearly, you and your fleet or your facility are aware of the Federation mining outpost on the neighboring planet Ivex 3, correct?
Yeah, we are, of course.
Yes. I know not if you have already had communique with them. However, the chief administrator of that facility is extremely apprehensive about the presence of your mining facility here in this system, and that is actually the true reason why we are here right now, is to assess the situation and to make sure that you, being the proud race you are not actually posing a threat, which I do not foresee.
Yes, we Klingons do make you humans nervous, don't we?
Oh, quite.
I love Bach.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Captain.
Us defecting is not a terrible plan.
I agree.
You're gonna have to retitle this to the Klingon Tempest.
The IKS Tempest.
Also, he didn't have to show us jack shit. This was a kindness.
Yeah, Bach is, cool. I hope it comes across in the portrayal,
Yeah.
but, Bach genuinely doesn't give a shit about Klingon Federation hostilities.
He's there to do a job.
Right.
He's got his job and he wants to do it, but he's old enough that he doesn't give a shit about all of that.
And I got all of that off of my character assessment,
You did.
of course.
You did.
Right.
So, he's so awesome that, in fact, I keep on trying to imitate his voice while I'm speaking to him, which I guess is part of the act. I do have one more question for you, sir, if I may be so indulgent. The last scans we picked up from our ship, the Tempest, detected some unusual life form signatures on this planet.
Yes, the alien creatures. We know about them. What of them?
We don't know anything about them. What are they? Who are they? And are they indigenous to this planet? Are they beasts of burden that you've brought with you?
Can you make a pot roast out of them?
Can you make a roast out of them?
We're renaming this episode the Pot Roast episode.
As far as we know, they're indigenous. They've attacked us a couple of times, and we've driven them off. I was actually putting together a party to wipe them out for good. They've been quite the nuisance for us since we've arrived, but I think we'll have them taken care of once and for all in short order. You're more than welcome to join us in the hunt if you like, Captain, but I don't think your Starfleet regulations would allow such a thing.
Well, I just want to make sure there's not some sort of cultural misinterpretation here. When you say party, you mean team? Or you're actually, like, getting together and celebrating the hunt?
Yeah, hunt, Captain. We're going to murder all of them. Yeah, that we're Klingons.
Sir, wow, you are a straight shooter, aren't you?
Long live Bach! Long
I
live
love
Bach!
Bach.
I love Bach! Hey, Bach, do you want to come home with us?
I don't think you could handle me, sweetie.
Okay.
I like
I love
it.
that Bach humor, you know?
Teal, he requires a Klingon female for companionship.
Sure. I meant with all of it. Never mind.
Humanoid females are a little too fragile for us.
So, just to be clear, you and your facility, your team down here, are going to be hunting these creatures.
That's right. Now he's starting to wonder if you're a little stupid.
Well, as truthfully, I could think of no greater enjoyment I could glean from this. However, my regulations prohibit me from hunting indigenous species on foreign planets. So I will have to respectfully and regrettably decline. However, do you happen to have a bioscan or reading of some sort of these creatures that you mind sharing with me? Because one thing we are a big fan of is roast. And we might be very interested in dining on...
Roast.
We might be very interested in dining on the...
Captain, don't patronize me, please. I know you humanoids don't...
Humanoids? You're a humanoid.
Yeah, you're right. I should say humans. I know you humans don't engage in the same kind of hunting rituals and take the same pleasure from killing your own food that we do. I don't have any bioscans to give you, Captain, I'm afraid. I'm sure you would love to make contact and talk to them or whatever it is you explorers like to do, but I don't have any help to give you in that regard.
So I do get serious here for a second, and I say, contact? And I raise an eyebrow.
What?
You're saying these are intelligent creatures?
I'm saying I'm sure you as Starfleet explorers would love to make contact if you could, because you love doing that with all sorts of life forms, regardless of how smart or stupid they are. We Klingons, we don't concern ourselves with things like that. I'm just here to get this job done, and if those creatures get between me and my job, then they have to go too.
Well, neither the creatures nor myself will try to get in between you and your job. Would you permit my science officer here to do a bioscan of the surface with one of our field recorders? Field recorders.
Knock yourself out, Captain, and he gives you another hard clap on the shoulder.
Very good. So, somebody scan for life forms.
You said I had to do it.
I guess so, yeah.
Are you still on the ship, Teal?
No, she's
No,
down
I
there.
was down there.
Actually, can I jump in and maybe like suggest to Maddox that you just like suggest that we scan and then I can scan as opposed to Teal?
Yeah, of course.
Do that thing.
Yeah, somebody else do something in this episode, please.
Brian?
Yeah, just go ahead and do a scan, with the ship assisting.
All right, what am I scanning? What am I rolling?
So that would be...
control and engineering?
Control and science.
Control and science, all right.
Yeah. And then ships, sensors, and science.
One success between the three.
Okay. Well, it was difficulty 1, so it's not too hard. So you get the same general readings that you do before. The readings are definitely strongest on the other side of the planets, further away. Because when you initially scanned, there were 2 main sources. The one in the vicinity of the Klingon mine is still there, but it's deeper within the planet's crust at the moment. And the other, on the other side of the planets, that's the one that's like really causing a lot of noise at the moment.
Do we have to have direct line of sight with the ship in order to do a sensor scan from the Tempest to get a better reading?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Maddox to Panther.
Panther here.
I thought he only growled.
No, we're not going with that.
Well, before I start down this, is this something we should just try through trial and error, or is this not going to give us any more greater resolution on our scans?
Yeah, I mean, narratively, if you want a hint, you've learned as much as you can remotely.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Panther would just reply,
And I say, oh, right, Maddox out.
Why do we put him in charge of communications?
Yeah.
He's not. He's in charge of security.
No, right now he's in charge of the bloody ship.
I feel like we should expedite not being with the Klingons, and we should get back to
Lee.
old
Yeah.
Crazy Pants on the other planet.
Yeah, it really seems like we need to sort of shut Lee down.
Yeah.
Because these guys
It's
are
not
great.
impossible that there is some issues with the Klingons, but like it's entirely possible that there is some sort of massive, complicated ruse going on.
Yeah, but whatever
seems
side
fairly
Bach is
unlikely.
on, I'm on that side.
I'm on Team Bach all the way.
But does the Prime Directive dictate that we need to interfere with what the Klingons are doing, hunting the native creatures on this planet? I mean, it's not our planet, so maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I might want to get in
No.
touch with Starfleet Legal about this.
Yeah.
Also, I just have a bad feeling about Lee, and maybe his equipment is actually setting up something complicated to shoot at the Klingons with or something,
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, it from my understanding of the Star Trek lore, the idea of people showing up on a planet that is unclaimed and killing the wildlife, if it's intelligent, then maybe we have some sort of responsibility, but from what we can tell, it doesn't seem like that's the case at the moment. So,
Well, that's exactly why I was suspicious when he said we made contact, or we would want to make contact with.
also, the Cardassians enslaved the Bajorans, and the Starfleet didn't go to war with them to unenslave them.
Right.
So,
Yeah, well, but what if they're just killing off, sandworms from Beetlejuice? Bye.
yeah.
Yeah, but what if they're not? My thoughts exactly, DJ.
Thanks for listening to Part 2 of Incident at Ivex. Join us next time as we explore the nature of the alien life forms and discover what, if any, impact they will have on the already delicate situation in the Ivex system. If you're enjoying what you hear on the show, please subscribe, like, follow, or share on social media. You can always find us under the handle Starship Tempest. If you'd like to become a Patreon, please visit our page at patreon.com/Starship Tempest to find out about all the exciting tiers and benefits available to you. And we'll see you out there.